Today, we're diving deep into one of the biggest puzzles in cancer research, and it all centers on this one gene called KRAS. Now think of KRAS as a master switch for cell growth. When it's working right, everything is fine. But when it breaks, it can drive some of the absolute deadliest cancers we know of. So let's get right into it.
And at the very heart of our story today is this incredible question. How can two genetic typos that are nearly identical, we're talking just a single letter change in the genetic code, lead to such wildly different, night-and-day outcomes for patients with lung cancer? So first off, what exactly is KRAS? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a gas pedal for your cells. Normally, it tells a cell when to grow and divide and when to stop. But a mutation can literally jam that pedal to the floor, leaving it stuck in the on position. That gives the cell a relentless, non-stop go signal. And that right there is how a tumor gets started. It's one of the most common faulty parts in all of human cancer.
But here's where things start to get really interesting. See, not all KRAS mutations are created equal. It's not one single problem, it's more like a whole family of them, and each one gives the cancer a slightly different personality.
Okay, so if we look specifically at lung cancer, the most common KRAS mutation is something called G12C. That accounts for about 41% of cases. But for our story, we're going to focus on the fascinating rivalry between G12C and the third most common one, G12D. These two mutations, they're going to be our main characters.
All right, let's put these two mutations head to head. Now, on the surface, you'd think they're practically twins. But as this new research reveals, their behavior couldn't be more different. We're talking night and day.
And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you've got G12D. This is the aggressor. It's a much more powerful cancer-causing gene. It drives tumors to grow way faster, and it tends to show up earlier in a patient's life. G12C, on the other hand, is more of a slow burn. It's less potent, and the tumors it creates progress much more gradually. And if you need proof, just look at this. The data from mouse models is, well, it's incredibly stark. The median survival for mice with those aggressive G12D tumors was just 17 weeks. Now compare that to the mice with G12C tumors. They survived for nearly 54 weeks. That's a massive difference. Same gene, different typo, dramatically different outcome.
So, the big question is, what explains this huge difference in aggression? Well, the answer, surprisingly, wasn't in the cancer cells themselves. No, it was in how the body's own immune system was reacting to them. And this brings us to this really cool idea of hot and cold tumors.
Okay, this volcano plot might look a little complicated, but the story it tells is simple. All those dots on the right, those are genes that are super active in G12C tumors. And what do? Almost all of them are involved in waking up the immune system. In plain English, the G12C tumors are basically sending out distress signals, shouting, "Hey, immune system, I'm over here, come and get me."
And here's what that actually looks like under a microscope. It's amazing. On the left, you see a G12C tumor, and it is flooded with the immune system's T cells. Those are the little green dots. It's immunologically hot, which means the immune system has shown up ready for a fight. But on the right, the G12D tumor is a ghost town. It's cold, it's quiet. It's basically invisible to the body's defenses. And that's why it's so much more aggressive. It can grow completely unchecked.
Now, for decades, KRAS was considered totally undruggable, a dead end. But recently, scientists developed these incredible new medicines called allele-specific inhibitors, and they're designed to do one thing: shut down these broken gas pedals.
And these drugs are incredibly good at their jobs. You have drugs like sotatercept for G12C and a newer one, MRTX1133, designed specifically for G12D. In the lab, these drugs cause tumors to just melt away. It's truly remarkable. But, and you knew there was a but coming, because that G12D cancer is so aggressive, it finds a way to fight back, and the tumors relapse much, much faster.
Now, this could have been a really disappointing dead end. But then, the researchers noticed something absolutely incredible when they treated those cold, stealthy G12D tumors with the new drug. It had a totally unexpected side effect that changed everything.
So here's the three-step process to turn this whole thing on its head. First, the drug MRTX1133 hits the G12D cancer cell and blocks its growth signal. This puts the cell under a ton of stress. Second, in response to that stress, the cell is forced to raise more of these little flags on its surface. And third,
All of a sudden, this once invisible cancer cell is waving a giant flag that the immune system's T cells can finally see. As the researchers put it in their paper, the drug doesn't just stop the tumor from growing, it enhances tumor recognition by T cells. It essentially paints a giant target on the back of a cancer cell that was an absolute master of disguise.
This discovery just blew the doors wide open for a completely new strategy. I mean, if the drug could unmask the enemy, what would happen if you combined it with a therapy designed to supercharge the soldiers of the immune system at the same time? And this is the whole ballgame right here. This is the big idea. You can take an immunologically cold, invisible tumor, and with the right drug, you can force it to become hot and make it completely visible to the immune system. This creates an absolutely powerful 1-2 punch. The G12D drug shrinks the tumor while simultaneously unmasking it, and then immunotherapy comes in and boosts the T cells, giving them the strength to attack that newly visible target. It's a perfect synergy that can even create long-term immune memory, basically teaching the body how to fight that cancer if it ever dares to come back. So, in this incredible twist, the very thing that made G12D tumors so deadly, their ability to hide, to be cold, becomes their greatest vulnerability. The drug forces them out of the shadows, turning a weakness into a strength and offering real, tangible hope against this incredibly aggressive cancer. And this leaves us with a really fascinating final thought to chew on. We're moving beyond treating cancer as just one disease, and we're even moving beyond treating it based on just a single gene. The future might actually lie in understanding the unique personality of each tumor, how it grows, how it hides, how it interacts with our own bodies, and then using that deep knowledge to design smarter, more powerful, and more personalized therapies.